Look what I got in the mail. Oh, it's my rock sliders. They finally came. Well, my rock sliders finally came in the mail. That's exciting. Months ago, I ordered them thinking, man, I don't have time to build my own, and I'm honestly not really sure how I should best build them. And I had money and didn't feel like I had a lot of time, so I ordered the rock sliders, and boy, I don't know what to blame it on, but it's been like 3 months and they finally came in the mail. So I'm excited. I get to put them on, and they do look nice. So stick around and we'll install these rock sliders on my Land Cruiser. So here they are. I do like the finish. They're powder coated. They seem like a durable finish. They're very heavy duty, thick walled steel. This is for where the catalytic converter would be. Apparently, a lot of companies don't make these for the early 90s Land Cruisers because they can't figure out how to get brackets where this catalytic converter is. And somehow this company, I don't know, they decided this would work. So we'll find out. I think I gotta unwrap it still, but I think there's a bracket in here that probably bolts on here and then bolts to the frame. Anyway, everything looks really nice and sturdy, strong. I'm happy so far. Okay, so we gotta put this bracket on here. I like that they welded the bolts on there. That makes it a little bit easier. You don't have to handle 2 wrenches at a time. Oh, I read. I feel like there should be a washer on there. Okay. There we go. Almost tight. Oh my. Try to climb under here without falling. Okay, this is from underneath. On the front here, by the catalytic converter, these bolt into these existing bolts. I gotta pull them off, and then this is just an adjustment so that I can adjust the height from the outside, so it looks good from the outside. Over here, these brackets sandwich the frame, and this plate goes on the other side of the frame, and then the bolt goes between them on top and bottom. The problem, and it does the same thing on the back over here, there, right behind the control arm. The problem that I'm dealing with now is that's a brake line. I can't sandwich that. So I think what I have to do is pop the brake lines loose and get that bracket behind the brake line, and then can you see that? And then, yeah, hopefully it squeezes in there, and then I can put the brake line back. Okay, I'm going to start on the front, and I got a jack stand under this thing, so everything's kind of stable. 3 jack stands holding this thing up. I'm going to see if I can loosen these. Kind of surprised how easy that was, considering how rusty it is. Oh, that's fun. At least it's not seized. But that's a crummy sound. I'm gonna squirt some stuff in there. Just a minute. I don't know if this will make any big difference, but I'll at least shoot some stuff in there. I'd like to get up inside the frame. Go through this hole here. We'll see if that works. No idea if I'm hitting the bolt. Bracket's right in the way. There we go. Okay. We did that. Now we'll line this up. So the whole I'm gonna shift everything backwards a little bit towards the rear of the car. Line these up. Okay. That one's started. I feel like those bolts ought to be longer. Well, I can't tell if I'm started or not. Yeah, I feel like these slots aren't lined up. Let me, maybe that'll help. No. Okay, so these bolts don't seem to be long enough to get through the plate and still bite the threads up in there. Also, these slots don't line up great with the holes. I might have to, I don't really know what to do. I could grind that out somehow. They're basically too wide, too far apart from each other. Okay, so this is the bracket that goes under the driver's side at the catalytic converter there. Anyway, these slots don't actually line up with the holes that are in the frame. They're too wide. I need to move this hole, or this one I guess, probably about a 1/4 inch closer. Okay, I came up with an idea. I got a jigsaw and a metal cutting blade, and I'm going to try and carve out this hole a little wider. It only needs to go about 1/8 of an inch. I tried like a hand file and stuff like that, just so slow. This stuff's so thick. I don't know if this will work, but this is my best shot, I think. Okay, we're gonna test measurement. I just stuck some bolts up through it, and the measurement between them is about 2 5/16, which is really close to what we need. So I'm just gonna clean this up a little bit with a file, I think, and we might be there. I'll show it to you. It's not pretty. I'm not proud of it, but I did figure out what to do, I guess. Okay, we're back underneath, and we're gonna see if we can get these bolts to line up now. So I went to the hardware store and I bought new bolts that are a little bit longer. They should work. Okay, that one's threading in there. Now, that one's threading in there. I think it's gonna work. Sweet. It worked. Okay, this is the middle rail. The brake lines are in the way of the flat bar bracket thing. So I'm just gonna see if I can let the brake lines, if I can kind of pull them away temporarily, and I'll put them back after I slip that bracket behind them. So there's these goofy little clips up in here. Just using a screwdriver to manipulate them so I can pop the brake line out like that. Okay. It needs to be enough that I can get the nut is wider, obviously, and it's welded to the plate, so I got to get the nut back behind it, under it. But obviously I don't want to bend these brake lines. There we go. Okay, and then I'm just going to snap, good grief, snap the brake lines back in, hopefully. Yeah, they seem held. Okay, and then these bolts go through. Obviously I need to raise it up to line them up. There we go. There's a little bit of powder coating on the end of the bolt. Makes it a little bit difficult to start the threading, but it does go. Yeah, that's thread. Okay, I'm not gonna tighten that one down real hard yet. I'm just gonna kind of let it hang out until I get everything else positioned. Okay, this is on the rear, on the driver's side, and the bracket here, this is the control arm. The bracket runs alongside it, and the plate is supposed to go on the back side of the control arm here. But again, there's brake lines in the way, and this time one of the clips is for those brake lines is right where that plate needs to go. So I actually need to remove the clip, and but it's got one of those tabs that sticks into a hole and clips into the frame, so I got to break that tab. So I just stuck a screwdriver up under it, and the tab wouldn't come loose, so I'm just kind of chiseling that tab till it breaks. There's probably a better way to do it, but I just don't know. There it is. It broke loose. Okay. So I'm going to show this to you. Camera. So there's the control arm mount. The plate goes right in here, and you can see that tab, and so I broke it loose, and I'm going to try and fit the plate in behind it. Okay, hopefully the lighting's a little better. I'm going to try to get this bracket up in there. You can see this side has kind of a weird angle cut on it, and then there's also this little bracket here that can allow me to twist it to get around all this when I go to bolt it up. So I got to get it under the brake line here. There you go. Okay, so now I'm going to put the bolt in the top. So this is the back side of that bracket. You can see the brake line floating over the top of it, but that clip is kind of in its old spot, which makes it kind of ride kind of high. So So I think I'm going to slide the clip over here just so that this will kind of sit flatter. So I'll slide that over. It's going to be difficult to get to, so I'll just do it off camera. Okay, I'm over on the passenger side, and I'm going to try and get this one on now. And just being over here, I noticed this pretty good dent in the rocker panel there. I actually didn't know I did that, but this is why I should have had rock sliders sooner. Okay, so before I start, this pinch seam right here is bent over, and I actually need to repair that because on the rock slider, sorry the lighting's so bad, but this bar has holes drilled in it, and it's supposed to bolt into that for stability. And so I need to start with a little bit of repair there. I'll see what I can do. There's dirt and stuff in there, but I'm not sure when I did that. Okay, so these are the two bolts that it mounts to, similar to the other side. And I'm going to work on getting those off now before I get everything in place and in my way. Oh, I could be turning the wrong way. Dummy. There we go. Broke it. I was afraid of that. Well, this got harder. When I was taking these bolts out, this one broke. And I started the process of trying to drill it out so I could tap it. And I'm having a heck of a time. The bolt shaft is in there. I was able to drill it with an 1/8" bit pretty easy. And then I started to work that up, and I barely got up to a 3/16, and then now every bit that I put in there, it just is destroying the bits. I mean melting these bits. So I really don't know what to do. I can't get that drilled and tapped. So I'm just gonna have to research an idea there, but in the meantime I'm gonna go ahead and put the rock sliders on. I can bolt it everywhere else, and I think it'll be okay. And we're just gonna have to come back to this someday when I can figure out a better idea. Well, I got problems already. This is supposed to be on just the inside of the pinch seam that's underneath the door and under the rocker panel. And then bolts are supposed to pass through it to fasten the two together. The problem is these bolts are not in the right spot. These holes, I mean. And so this was just hitting the pinch seam instead of passing next to it. So once again I had to notch out this hole to get everything to fit correctly. And so I can't imagine my Land Cruiser is different than everybody else's. Seems like they put these holes in the wrong spot. Okay, so now I've discovered that this 1x square tube here hits the frame rail that these bolts bolt up into. So I need to grind that back to like here, because otherwise this can't sit flat up against that frame rail. Okay, so I grind this off so it wouldn't hit this, so it wouldn't hit the frame right here, and then that way, sorry, my lighting's terrible. That way that bolt will go in, everything will lay flat. So I ground that off. I had to do a lot of just moving around to try and get that bar there to fit next to that pinch seam right there. And then now I gotta drill through those holes through the pinch seam and then put bolts through it. And then I barely got these brackets on. Getting the bolt in over the top was really difficult. I don't know why. There's just not enough clearance on this side. I can't go any higher because I'm hitting the pinch seam here, and yet that bolt just barely fit. I mean, I really had to finagle things around. I actually got a jack under here to try and lift the body off the frame just a fraction of an inch. Okay, I'm going to drill these 3 holes out. We'll see if I can put my drill in all of them. Sorry about the bump there. Okay, that one went through. Dang it, how are you supposed to do that? Who has a small drill that small? I went and bought this angle attachment, and then I got a drill bit with that hex end that'll fit in there, and then I connect that to the drill, and that should allow me to drill in that tight space, and then I can run the other bolts in there. So now I've got the angle adapter. That bit fits right in there. I don't need that other bit in there. And then I'll put that in the drill. And now, well, hey, look at that, it fits. Okay, I'm onto the bracket in the rear. I've got the bolt through the top. It will not line up with the bottom bolts will not line up, or the holes. So they make this little leg that bolts on here, comes over and kind of allows it to jog around the control arm bracket. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten those bolts now. The bolt is not long enough to get to the nylon part of the nylock nut, so I'm going to pull that washer out of there and see if that helps. It's still not long enough. I'm a little frustrated with the length of the bolts they sent, and a lot of them don't seem the right lengths. Tighten the top one up here. Now the bottom one. Well, I am excited to have rock sliders on the Land Cruiser, but I'm really frustrated and disappointed with the product and the company that I bought them from. I've decided not to mention the manufacturer in this video because I don't want my channel to be about criticizing other businesses. Also, I don't want this video to seem like a passive-aggressive jab at them. If you are in the market for rock sliders for your Land Cruiser and you're concerned about having a similar experience to my own, message me and I can privately tell you what company I bought these from. And I paid well over $800, and at the time I purchased them, they said they had to build them and it would take 7 weeks for me to receive them. And it actually took 4 months. And I actually was considering just building my own But I thought, well, you know, it'd be faster. I've got the money, I'll buy them, I'll get them, I'll put them on. And then 4 months later, they finally arrived, and I go to put them on, and I thought it would be a couple hours of just bolting them on, and it was all day and modifying. I had to modify them, grind things away, cut holes differently so that things would fit. I don't like being a bitch and complaining about things, but I spent a lot of money and it's been a frustrating experience. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll post a video next that hopefully shows me enjoying rock sliders. Thanks for watching.
We actually made it. We'll see if this actually makes the video. We made it. I would say that's what, 40 feet, 50 feet? And then he got his new sliders turtled in.